good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name's Jade, and this is How to App on iOS, and today it's time for the Creator Rewind number 4, and my very special guest today is Brad Example. We're bringing him back from the dead to find out what's been going on. We're going to kick off with one of his songs called Lonesome Feeling. Are you ready? Let's do it. Hello, welcome to the show. My name's Jade. This is How to App on iOS. It is Friday morning here in Australia, Thursday for the rest of you living outside of Australia. And I hope you are doing well, and I mean that sincerely. Yes, it's been a really big week. And today, I hope you're going to strap yourselves in. I don't know where the hell this is going to go. Emotions, man, they're a crazy thing, right? And when you have somebody back on the show who's been on a million times before, and you know that there's just been lots of stuff going on, right? Stuff with me, stuff with my guest. I don't know where this is going to go today. So you better strap yourselves in for this one. You better share this out and get some people here because they may not want to miss this, yeah? Thank you to everyone who's here right now as I try and wipe the sleep out of my eyes at 8 a.m. Jesus. All right, we're going to get into it because today's show is sponsored. These creator shows are always sponsored by our friends at DistroKid, yeah? And DistroKid are an amazing service that offer to you for an extremely low price of $22.99 a year the ability to upload your music to streaming services. They are a conduit between you and the man of Apple and Spotify and Amazon and so many more, yeah? And YouTube even. YouTube Music. And it's really easy to get involved with DistroKid. You basically sign up, you pay your $22.99 a year, and you can release unlimited songs, unlimited albums, unlimited EPs. You can do an album a day if you want. I don't care. You just do whatever you want. You can upload your lyrics. You get a Spotify check mark. You can create royalty splits if you've made music with other people. You can access a heap of tools, and I'm going to show you a couple of them later on in the show. And you even get access to a free mobile app here that is available on iOS and Android. And even from there, you can upload your music. So if you're a creator and you use Android to make music, you use Apple to make music, you use a PC, you've got all avenues. You can upload your albums from a phone. It's just so easy. Now, if you sign up to DistroKid using my link here, which is distrokid.com/VIP/Jade Starr, you will get 7% off your first year to help you get going. Not only does it help you, it helps me. So if you are considering to do so, click that link, sign up, join one of these plans. Now that 7% applies to any of the plans that are available here. You've got a Musician Plus, the Ultimate plan, right? You can see the prices there. Unless you're blind. Let me read that out in case you are blind. $39.99 for Musicians Plus. Ultimate $89.99 a year. Help me, help you. Help you to help me. DistroKid, you know what I'm going to say. You know. Oh, DistroKid, I love you. But I really do. I really thank DistroKid for being supporters of this channel for a very long time now, and I'm such a tiny little channel. So thank you so much for your ongoing support. It really helps. All right, everybody, thank you for being here today in the chat. You all look so good looking today. You look wonderful. I'm looking at all your names. You know the deal. I'll say hello to you. We'll do a roll call, as Hibby would say, in about, 15 minutes time or so after our next song that we play. Okay, so this little critter has been in my life now for, 4 years, getting on 4 years. He's an incredible musician. He's incredibly loved by people. I don't know why. What's wrong with you all? You all need to see a doctor about it. No, I'm joking. I jest, of course. I love him so much. His music is fantastic. His story is hard-hitting. His wild stories about being a rock star are just so off the wall. And if you haven't heard the Bear story, go back and watch the first interview I did with him. It's just off its rocker, yeah? And today we're going to welcome him back to find out what's been going on, what's happening in the future, and some other stuff that you may not know about Brad Example. So let's bring him on. Hobo Brad Example, whatever you want to call him. He's my furry little friend in the fridge. Let's bring him on right now. It's Brad Example.
Hi, Jade.
Hi, Brad. What's going on?
Not too much. How are you?
You know how I am?
I do.
I know how you are.
You do.
Brad, it's so good to have you back on the show. I see you every day. You are one of my dearest friends. I love you so much. Sometimes I want to jump through the screen and strangle you. And I'm sure
I know.
sometimes you want to jump through the screen and strangle me. But that's what
No, I
friend.
understand your frustration with me because I
No,
get so many problems and you help
no,
and I know it
no,
takes you're a
no,
busy person.
no. This isn't about like me fishing for that. This is about why we're friends, right? I'll tell you why I'm your friend. Okay? Because your heart is gigantic. You are such a beautiful soul, my friend, and you make such just amazing music. And it pains me every day knowing that you are unable to make the music that you want to make at your potential, right? And that's what we're going to talk a bit about today, because it's real. Look, it's frustrating for me to sit here and see my best friends struggle to put out music and just struggle, and I can't even imagine what it's like being Brad Example. So I'm going to start off by asking you, if you had a corporate job, Brad, all right, and you were forced to not be wearing that awesome Brad Example merch that you're wearing right now, which we'll talk about later, and you had to wear a suit and tie, and you had to go into an office, just it's a hypothetical in a completely different parallel universe that is so unimaginable it could never happen. If you're in a corporate job and you were trapped in the elevator with the head CEO of the company, what would be your elevator pitch? You only have a minute before that elevator gets to the bottom, and you've got to tell that dude all about you to impress him so he maybe gives you a raise at the end of the year. Give us the Brad Example spiel in a minute.
I would just mostly say I don't know why I'm here. I'm a songwriter and I shouldn't be here. And the chair that I'm in is very uncomfortable and I'm gonna have to go on WSIB. So you might as well start the forums now because I won't be at this job much longer. So just start the forums and hopefully I can leave this job in a week. That would be my elevator pitch.
So obviously you don't want to do a corporate job.
No. No, I'm a songwriter. That's who I am at heart, and anything else is I'm not living my life. Even when I was a welder and I loved being a welder.
You're a
It was
welder. Hang on.
yeah,
Oh, whoa.
yeah.
How did you get into welding?
I got fired from a grocery job and I applied for college. It was a crazy story. I left I had because I didn't know what the fruits and vegetables were because I don't eat. I don't know if anybody knows this about me, but I don't eat food. So I didn't know what any of the fruits and vegetables were. So they put me on the cash register where I thought they were going to put me in the stock room. So I would get a fruit or a vegetable would come and I would hold it up in the air and the girls in line in the cashier line would yell out cantaloupe 2212. So then I'd type it in and weigh it up and charge them for the cantaloupe. And then I'd hold another thing up and it would be carrots and they'd say those are carrots 2231 and I'd type in the 2231. So the manager had realized I was doing this and said, "You don't know what any of this stuff is, do you?" And I said, "No, I don't know." So she gave me a pen, a piece of paper, and a pen, and said, "Okay, go up the aisle and write down what everything is and learn about what everything is." So I wrote down, looks like a giant penis, looks like piece of turd, looks like, and I wrote all this really vile stuff. Then I forgot it on the produce counter. So I forgot to pick it back up again. So the next day when I went to go to work, they had that piece of paper in their hand with all this vile shit written on it. So at the very same time, though, I had applied to go to college to get my welding licenses. And I just happened to get accepted that day. So it just worked out perfectly where I was accepted into college that day and also lost my job at the grocery store. So I went and I got my welding licenses. I got my CWB licenses for MIG, TIG, and stick welding. I got my TSSA licenses, which is 2-inch pressure pipe. So I got those licenses. I got my CWB licenses and plasma cutting and acetylene torch cutting, and I went again to college for engineering drawings, and I learned about reading blueprints.
I
So
don't.
I did that when I was 19. And when I was 19 till I was about and they used to let me go like some of the jobs, like because you could get a welding job. I could work in the morning, quit at lunch, and have a new job by 1 o'clock. Because there was just a whole strip of places that just needed welders like crazy. So I could work anytime I wanted. So I would, if I had to go on tour or if I was doing shows or whatever and I couldn't do the job, some jobs would just say, well, then don't come back. But other jobs, I had a couple jobs that would say, okay, well, we'll lay you off, and when you're done your tour, come back and you'll get paid while you're on the road. You'll get unemployment insurance while you're on the road, and then when you get back off the road, come back to work. So then I'd come back to work for a couple months and then I'd go back out on the road again.
I don't want. Did you harm anybody welding?
I almost did. I almost blew up a building. I was torching, I was cutting this big piece of steel, and I had all the gas and the oxygen um tubes coming down kind of between my legs, and I cut a big piece of steel off, and it landed on my feet. So I just kicked it behind me, and it happened to land on the gas hose. So it melted through the gas hose, and all I could hear was this high-pitched whistling. So then I turned around and there was probably a 30-foot flame shooting out of the gas hose. So just luckily the regulator worked, and one of the guys from the welding booth next to me saw the shadow from the flame shooting out, so he ran over into my booth and shut the gas off before it got back into the tank and blew up the neighborhood. But I almost blew it. It literally would have blown up the neighborhood. We had to have a huge safety meeting the next day. We had to have a special guy come in. It was a real disaster.
We had to have a special safety meeting. Why didn't they just
Yeah.
put you in
Well,
a
they
room?
made everybody go. And even though I'm the only one that needed to go. But God, it was bad. It was really bad, really
God.
bad. I
Yeah.
used to get I used to weld, I used to do a lot of stick welding, and the slag would fall and it would fall into my shoes and between my toes. So I'd get a hot piece of steel right in between my toes, but I can't stop the weld. So I'd have to let it burn itself out while I was running my bead. So I'd have to run a 2 foot bead or a 1.5 foot bead, and the slag would fall into my boot about 4 inches in, and I couldn't shake my foot or get rid of it until I was done my bead. So I used to have burn marks all over my arms. People used to think I was a needle user because I had burn marks all over my arms.
I bet you've had a few slags in your bedroom before as well, too.
Yeah, I probably had more of those slags than the burning ones. Actually, they all turned out to be burning in the end.
Please, let's not go into like medical issues like so soon.
Yeah.
um, Brad, let's elaborate
Yeah,
further.
so that's when I was still working, and then I couldn't work anymore.
You touched on, now, many people probably don't know this about your diet
Yeah,
or lack.
I have what's called
Yeah.
ARFID, avoidtive restrictive intake disorder, which I was just diagnosed with, but all my life I'd gone to disordered eating clinics and they never really understood my condition because it wasn't a body image issue. Most people end up bulimic or anorexic because of body image. They want to be thinner. I didn't have that. I didn't care if I was fat or skinny or what I looked like. I never cared about what I looked like. But I didn't eat food. I wouldn't even try food. So there's only about 15 things that I'll put in my mouth, and then I won't put anything else in my mouth. Exactly. So I eat peanut butter, white bread, white milk, 2% milk, cereal, scrambled eggs, French fries, and toast, but I've never had a potato. And I'll never eat home fries. I only eat French fries. The only kind of chips I've ever had are salt and vinegar and Ripple and Doritos. I've never had cheese. I've never had pizza. I've never eaten any meat or any vegetable in my life ever. Um, yeah, I eat like a 5-year-old boy. I eat mostly chocolate and sweets.
Is that why you're such a naughty little kid?
Yeah, probably.
Probably. Look at this. Avoidant restrictive food intake disorder, ARFID, is a new diagnosis from the DSM-5, represents a reformulation of what used to be called feeding disorder of infancy or early childhood. Individuals with ARFID limit the volume and or variety of foods they consume, but unlike other eating disorders, food avoidance or restriction is not related to fears of fatness or distress about body shape, size or weight. Instead, ARFID selective eating is motivated by a lack of interest in eating food, sensory sensitivity, strong reactions to taste, texture, smell of foods, and or fear of
Yeah,
adverse consequences, choking or vomiting.
yeah.
Do you like
That
serious
fits
serious
exactly
question?
my
It's like, do you see like foods that you haven't eaten, and what's the feeling? What do you feel inside? Do you get nervous about it? Do you think about the
what
taste or the texture? Explain to me what goes through your head when you see this food and it's presented in front of you.
extreme anxiety and fear, especially if it's put in front of me. If somebody else is eating it, I can ignore it. And it's just like a Jewish guy on Christmas. He's never had Christmas, so he doesn't care. He'll never miss Christmas. So I don't eat pizza. I smell it, and sometimes it smells good, but there are other foods like mustard, ketchup. There are a lot of other foods that when I smell it, I get anxiety and it makes me sick. I cannot handle it. And there's a lot of food like that. But sometimes, because my mom and grandma are both really good cooks, there are times where I smell food and I think, well, that smells pretty good, but I would never, ever eat it. I would never put it in my mouth. I would rather eat a handful of cigarette butts than a carrot or a hamburger or I would rather eat a handful. I would eat the hand of cigarette butts, no problem. I could swallow that down right now if I had to. No problem. If it was a choice between that and other food, I would eat a handful of nuts and bolts before I ate a hamburger or a piece of pizza.
The question is how does this affect like your health? Like how do you go about this? Kimmy did his cigarette butts. Like when you go to the doctors and they're checking you out and stuff. Do they try and like force on you and say, "Hey, you need some vegetables in your life"? You do what's
Not anymore.
not anymore. So they all
No.
understand. And
Yeah.
are you taking like a serious question here? And I'm not trying to be a dick. Do you take supplements or anything to? Why not? Why are you not taking supplements to like?
Because I throw up a lot.
Right.
I have medicine now that helps my vomiting, but I used to throw up every single morning like clockwork. So I would wake up in the morning and I would throw up right away, and I would throw up for a good 20 minutes and it would just rip and hurt my stomach. And the last time I had a gastroscope, the doctor said that I'm going to end up with a colostomy bag eventually because I have so much acid buildup in my stomach. I have 2 hernias and 3 ulcers. So I have a lot of problems in my stomach, plus an overproduction of acid in my stomach. So that's why I throw up as often as I do, which also isn't good for my teeth. But my teeth are okay. But it's bad for my teeth. But it's caused a lot of damage in my stomach.
See, I can't eat bananas, right? There's not many things I can't eat. Peanut butter. Now, we're opposite scales, right?
Yeah, peanut butter is like my main
Yeah,
food
you
group.
live off peanut butter. I can't. If you put peanut butter in front of my face, I will vomit everywhere, right? And you know what? I don't know why people do this. I don't know what goes through fucking human beings on the human beings' brains. Whenever I tell somebody, now this has happened throughout my entire life, somebody go, "Would you like a peanut butter sandwich?" And I go, "No, thank you. It makes me sick." And the next thing that they do is put the spoon in the peanut butter, get a big lump of it, and then stick it in my face. And it's
Yeah,
like, hey, fuckhead, did you
yeah,
not hear what I said? And when I
yeah,
vomit all over their hand, they're like, oh, why did you do
yeah.
that? It's like, because you're an idiot.
That's happened to me numerous times. There was once I was invited to a friend's house for supper, and the mother didn't accept the fact that I didn't eat. And I told her explicitly, I said, look, don't make me anything. I'm not hungry. I won't eat. I only eat a few things. Don't make me anything to eat. And of course, she made me a big giant plate of me of food, and I cut a hole in my jeans, tucked them into my sock, and I put all the food into the hole in my pants and went outside after and emptied them all out into the yard. That's how bad it was. I was probably 8 years old, 7 or 8 years old when I did that.
All right. I thought that was like last week or something.
No, and there was a girl probably about 10 years ago that did the same thing. I told her I had a problem, I had a disordered eating issue, and she put a bunch of food in front of me and said, just try it, just try it, just try it. And wouldn't take no for an answer until I finally really got mad and said, look, I don't eat this stuff. Leave me alone. I had to leave the room. I was so angry.
Yeah, I can't eat bananas either, Brad. It's not. I like banana. Just before I finish on the peanuts thing, just I know this confuses people, but we all have our things, right? I can eat actual peanuts, like
Yeah.
salted nuts. I can eat them,
Yeah,
right?
that's the same with me and
But
French fries.
yeah,
I can eat French fries, but I can't eat a potato.
yeah, I can't. As soon as it's turned into a paste, like satay sauce or peanut butter, I can't eat it. But handfuls of nuts,
Yeah,
I can swallow. And I've had people go, yeah, but when you're chewing the peanuts, it turns into a paste in your mouth, so it's the same thing. It's like it's
it's
not the
not the
same
same.
thing, man.
Yeah, it's not the same.
That's creamy and weird and stuff. It's like
Yeah,
bananas. I can't eat. I like bananas. I like them if you cut them up. I can eat them cut up. I just can't eat them like this. I can't stick them in my mouth like that. It just reminds me
yeah,
of too many bad memories.
yeah,
You know?
yeah, it's the same as me. If food is presented to me, I either avoid it. I'll either like if there's a family dinner, I'll usually go in my room and lay down, or I just ignore what's going on around me and kind of go into my own world. But it's been tough. Like it's been really, really tough because especially after the throwing up, when I was throwing up a lot, when I was throwing up sometimes 2 or 3 times a day, it would rip my stomach. All my stomach lining would rip. So then the rest of the day, my stomach would hurt really, really bad. I was really, really weak. I'd go 2 or 3 days without eating at all, like at nothing, eating nothing. And there was a time in my life after I broke up with my girlfriend where I was just so depressed. I would eat one muffin a week,
Wow.
and that's it. And that's all I was eating. So it correlates with my depression. So when I'm in a lot of pain, I don't eat. When I'm depressed, I don't eat. It just takes away my appetite. I smoke pot a little bit, not as much as I used to. I used to smoke pot every single day, all day, every day. Now I smoke once a week, maybe. It's been a long time since I've smoked actually, but I used to smoke just to get an appetite.
So, as I said before, have you thought about supplement? I mean, you said taking
Oh,
some.
and the supplements. And the reason I don't take
Can't you smash them up and put them in your peanut butter, like you
well,
trick a dog to do?
I used to do that when I was younger, but when I threw up, it tasted like pennies. So I stopped taking the multivitamins because it left this really coppery taste in my mouth. And I couldn't get rid of it all day, no matter what I ate. Even if I ate a spoonful of peanut butter, it just, my mouth still tasted like I had a roll of pennies in it. So I stopped taking the multivitamins.
Right. Does this frustrate you, Brad? Does this fucking weigh on your mind? What do you do to get through this, Brad?
Well, I just avoid everything. I I do my best to try to eat what I can when I can. Like I'll have like I have a obsessive compulsive disorder as well. So even the restaurant in town, the White Otter restaurant, knows my order. So I get 3 scrambled eggs, 3 pieces of white toast, and French fries. And I make sure they don't even put the ketchup bottle on the table. I don't even want the ketchup bottle on the table. Can't be on the table. So they when they see me, they know that's my order and that's what they make. And before COVID, I used to go 2 or 3 times a week. And then when COVID happened, it shut down, the restaurant shut down. So I started making it at home, and I would make it 2 or 3 times a week, maybe twice a week. And then I stopped doing that altogether for a while. And I haven't made scrambled eggs and toast in probably a month. And I've been to the restaurant twice now, and they got my order in, and I tell them, if you charge me less than $10, I'll give you $15 and I'll give you a $5 tip. So you'll get $15 for, if the more under 10 you go, the more money you'll get as a tip. So they figured out a way to make the bill so that it comes out to about $8.79, and then I pay $15 for it. Because I know it's a pain in the ass for them to do this, because even though I'm not getting the bacon, the ham, the sausage,
it's not.
I'm substituting, all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think that also has a lot to do with why my bones are in the shape that they're in, and why I'm physically weak like I am, and why I don't have the energy that most people my age have. I don't have that energy. I have a very small battery, and it runs out really fast.
Yeah. All right, we're going to come back. We're going to play another song. This is a song from the Inner City Surfers. This is a song called No Cure. And then we're going to come back and say hello to everybody. We're going to continue on delving into Brad's life, times, music, and all this stuff. So glad to see. And we'll say hello to you all in the chat as well. So get ready to do all that. Let's play this. This is called...
Well, I picked this song because I wanted to show
which
that I
is?
Also write... Yeah, No Cure. You just said No Cure.
Sorry.
Yeah, so I picked it because I wanted people to know I also write heavy songs, not just acoustic songs. Yeah, I also write heavy songs.
Yeah. We'll get into that too. All right, let's do it. You ready? No Cure. Brad Example with the Inner City Surfers. Let's do it right now. Boom. Brad. Now that was heavy.
Yeah, that's a little different. I kind of mix it up. I write heavy songs, then I write mellow songs. Then when I get sick of the mellow songs, I'll write some heavy ones, and then I'll go back and forth.
Let's say hello to everybody here, Brad. Hey, Pookie, thank you so much for the 10 gifted memberships. If you are lucky enough to get one of those, make sure you thank Pookie and R for gifting the memberships. Yeah, you can become
I think Pookie should get an awards as best chatter in the chat.
Well,
She's just so supportive of everybody and such a sweetheart.
absolutely. What are the awards, Brad? Do you want to tell us?
I don't know. I don't know anything about the awards. I just know they're happening and it's going to be really interesting and a lot of fun.
Sure. But I agree with you. Pookie is amazing. Let's say hello to everybody. All right. Thomas Christ is here. We got the Mix Club. So, folks, type something in the chat so I can find you and say hello to you.
Hey, Mix Club.
Hey,
hey, Deep Gravity.
Mr.
It's really
Smith.
great to see you.
Yeah,
Ali, it's really great to see you.
Go for it, Brad. You can call the names.
A doctor's orders. Great to see you. Thomas, great to see you. Mr. Smith, I love you, buddy. Leela, it's great to see you. Russ, I love you. It's great to see you.
Tremor Bear.
Ed B. Metal, Doorways into Music, Wolfstone. It's great to see you. It's so great to see all of you. Thank you for coming.
Farrah Mantello's here as well.
Hey, Farrah, it's nice to see you. Thanks for coming, Farrah.
And Falcro and Independent Manny United. And who else do I see? Pete Johns was here earlier. Jenny Jolivet. Ali's here as well. Chris Lane Sr., hello to you. I'm trying to get you all. Tremor Bear. Lux is here as well. Hello, hello, hello. If I've missed you, it'd be Metal. Just type something so I can catch you. If I have missed you, I just can't scroll up high enough. That's the problem. Oh, I'll come back over here so Brad's just not sitting there. Greg O'Sullivan, what's going on? Kim Harden Hudson, boom. I'll give doctor's orders his special thing. We got to do it.
Doctor's orders.
There you go. Just for old time's sake. Blue Unicorn, g'day to you as well. Hello, 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 everybody. If I have missed you, I do apologise. We're going to get on. If I see names coming in that I haven't said hello to, I'll try and remember. Lady Rodeline Straight, there you go. There you are. She's driving. So she gave us a love heart just to let us know she's here.
Hey, lady. It's nice to see you.
All righty. So I'm going to tell you about how I met Brad. So this is a little section of these rewind videos that I call Me and My Brad, or Me and My Whoever, because I have a song called Me and My Brain. And this is Me and My Brad. How did I meet this guy? Well, I got an email from this guy telling me that he was in bad shape and he wasn't well. And he had this degenerative disease going on. And he sent me photos of his back covered in bruises. And I was like, who is this poor little dude? Man, what is going on? And I'd heard your music and was like, this is so sad. But at the same time, not sad, because inspiring. You know, it's all depends on how you look at things. Would you agree with that, Brad? Being somebody, hang on, let me finish. Being somebody who's constantly down on yourself.
Yeah. I try to make everything have like a little bit of a, like even in Lonesome Feeling, like I'm trying to escape from the dark. At least I'm trying. So there's a little bit of glimmer of hope in all of it, you know, and I hope I find someone someday that'll understand me and cure this lonesome feeling. So there's always this glimmer of hope that one day somebody will understand what I'm going through and not pressure me into trying things that I've already tried and already been through and didn't work. And they'd say, well, try it again. And I say, well, no, it hurt too much to try it the first time. And it takes too much out of me. And I need to keep the energy that I have to do the things that I want to do instead of just laying in bed for 3 days, lifting boxes at a physiotherapist from one shelf to another for an hour is only going to put me in bed for 3 days. And then I can get no writing done. I can't sit on the computer and have a social life. I can't do anything. So I found a way that I can live my life. I'd rather just live it this way and be content with it and try and find the joy in the limited world I live in. I try to find the joy in it that keeps me going every day.
Do you think as human beings we need somebody to complete us?
Like in a relationship
Yeah.
sort of way?
Yeah.
No, no, I don't. I think that I mean some people are codependent, right? Some
Yeah.
people have to have somebody with them to kind of justify their lives. I don't need that. I don't need a girlfriend or a wife or children, but some people need all that stuff, and that makes them feel like they have complete lives. I feel like I have a complete life by just the friends I have online, the friends I have in real life that are dwindling slowly, the world that I create for myself. I try to extract the joy that I need out of that. What other people would think would be miserable and hard and terrible, I find a little bit of joy in it and have fun with it. So I try to make it positive for myself.
Brad, give me 5 things off the top of your head that bring you joy right now.
Talking to Jade, having Jade as a friend.
Oh, God.
I consider you one of my best friends in
Yeah.
the whole world.
Yeah. You're one of my best friends. Yeah.
Russ and Dave Jelly and Leela and Kurt and the people that we talk to on Clubhouse. I rely on Clubhouse a lot to talk to, just so I have a friend group to talk to and listen to other people talk and listen to what their day's going like and how they're doing and what they're doing and what they're up to. And the shows that I watch, like your show and Pete's show and Thomas's show and Leela's show, those shows bring me joy. They bring me little blocks of joy, a half hour or an hour at a time, when I can forget about the amount of pain that I'm in and just kind of absorb into the show and listen and try to understand, even though I don't understand much of it. I try to, and it just takes my mind off of the immense pain that I'm in constantly.
So I know you, and I love you, mate. I love you, and I know you watch other things too, because you can't do a lot. What are some of the other things you watch on YouTube apart from this music community, this scene that we have here that gets you through, apart from Pornhub?
Oh, well, that takes away about 80% of everything. I like watching I have a Roku, so I like watching movies. I don't like horror movies or scary movies. I like dramas and I like movies that make me cry. I like Call the Midwife, even though I don't like admitting it. It makes me fucking cry really hard. Every episode, I bawl my eyes out and I get mad and say I hate this show, but every episode makes me bawl. Um, um, I like James Bond style kind of espionage movies. I like John Wick. I like movies like that. I like documentaries. I like a lot of music documentaries. I watch a ton of music documentaries. Um, I watch a lot of TV, and I have my guitars like they're right. Oh, I can't turn my computer, or maybe I can.
Oh God, no,
Um,
all
yeah,
right.
see, I have my guitars hanging right beside me,
Yep.
so I just grab my guitar and I write songs, and I have even though it's been 2 years since I've put out a song, I have the music ready for at least 15 songs. I just have to get to the melody and lyrics part. And that's been a struggle because I've been in more pain lately and finding it harder to concentrate. So when I sit down to write lyrics, I'll get a verse and a little bit of a chorus, and then I'm just in too much pain from leaning forward to type. I'm in too much pain, and then I end up getting distracted. The pain distracts me, and then I end up kind of forgetting and going, okay, well, I'll get to it later, and then I don't get to it later.
All right. So you said 80% of your viewing goes to prawn. What would be one of your most searched prawn things? Just one.
Oh,
Gosh, what am I doing asking this? He has to think about
clothing.
it. What?
Like specific clothing. I like certain types of
All right,
clothing.
that's enough.
Like
Cool.
bodysuits.
All right, cool. All right, we won't go too far.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. There's something to sink your teeth into. Bodysuits.
Yeah.
Look at Kim. Oh no. What's happening? I'm trying to control it, but at the same time, be risque. All right, let's talk about. I'm jumping around today all over the place because I just want to talk about. Now, when you first came on the show, we talked about, why? Because I can, Frank. Nobody, you know what? Nobody else, no other show would do that apart from me. Yeah, that's exactly right. No, but we got around it. We got around it. All right.
I answered it tastefully.
I know. You did well. So,
Yeah.
all right. So, last time you were on here, we talked about exactly what's going on. Like when you first reached out to me, you said, hey, here's this photo of my back. I was looking for it before the show. And your whole back is just covered in bruises.
Yeah.
What is going on with, just for those who don't really know? Because and the reason I ask this is because I want people to understand when they see you perform live, which you've been doing, exactly how hard a struggle it is. Like for me to get up each day and do this, I get out of bed, I roll in here, I set up the studio and I go and then I'm out, For you to set up, to do a live, it's a whole lot more. Tell us about what you have. Tell us about your hip and all this. I want to know.
I have what's called factibular impingement syndrome, which means my femur slides out of my hip socket, and there's a little bone that is kind of sticking out. And so every once in a while, the femur will get stuck on the other side of that bone, and then I'm hunched over like this for the next, it could be 2 days, it could be 2 weeks. So, but every time I get out of my chair, I'm hunched over for the first few steps until my back stretches out a little bit, and then I can straighten up a little bit and I can walk pretty good for about 30 or 40 steps. And then after that, I can't walk. I need a cane. And I sweat and it hurts so bad that I just have to sit down. I can't walk further than that. So it puts pressure on my yeah, that's what it is right there. It puts pressure on my right leg, where if I put any weight on it, it crushes a bunch of nerves in there and it hurts like you wouldn't believe. And when I take a step, if you put your hand on my hip, every step I take, you'll feel it click. You'll feel it grind. Like you'll feel my hip joint grind against my femur. So it'll grind. If you put your hand on my hip as I'm taking a step, you can feel it pop in and out with every step I take.
Right. Savage, brutal stuff. Now,
and so I have a chair in my recording room, and I can only sit in it for about an hour before my hip goes out. And then my hip is out for a day, 2 days, 3 days. I mean, I've been lucky. My hip hasn't been out for a couple of weeks, like out bad, but it's been out. It goes out every day, but it hasn't been out really bad for about 3 weeks now.
So what, because I know you've struggled even to like lay in a bed and such.
Yeah.
So how does that go? have you spent time sleeping in a chair? Now I know I've got other friends
Yeah,
here in this community who maybe people wouldn't know this too, are in so much pain too. They fucking sleep in a chair as well. This is not
yeah.
uncommon in this community. We're all a bunch of sickos throughout this
Yeah,
community. We're
I've
all
been doing it a lot lately. That's why I'm online early when like late at night and that's why I'm coming on and that's why I end up falling asleep on you on Clubhouse because I'll wake up around 1:32 in the morning, come out here, put the heating pad on, and then I'll fall asleep in my chair for a couple hours and get a little bit of rest because it hurts so bad to lay down with it just hurts really bad. So it's hard to find a comfortable position to lay in where even though I got a new mattress and it's way better than my last one, it still hurts no matter what. I used to sleep on a couch and I used to sleep like with my I don't know how to explain it. So the couch would be like this. I used to sleep with my hip sticking like over the side of the couch so that there was no resistance where my hip was. Because if I slept on the couch with my hip on the couch, there was resistance and it was pushing up on my hip. So I used to sleep in like a V shape so that my hip and my ass were hanging off the couch. I slept like that on a couch like that for 6 years.
Now there's a whole bunch of non-surgical treatments I see here. Like, it's so funny. I'm reading this here and it says such as ibuprofen. It's like, I don't think ibuprofen's going to really help, guys. But anyway, physical therapy, stretches, exercise is the only solution a hip replacement.
No, because I also have stenosis, and that's where the main pain comes from, is the stenosis, is the thinning of my spinal cord at the base of my where my hips are. So I have stenosis there, and that's where most of the pain comes from. So even if I got a hip replacement, the pain would still be, I would still be in the same amount of pain that I'm in now. It's just my hip wouldn't go out as often, and it's just the way that I am and the health that I'm in and the shape that I'm in. I fear that I wouldn't survive a hip surgery, so I just maintain a life of medication and the life that I live, like keep trying to stay immobile, trying to stay still, and I keep that, and I want that to be my life, and I want that to last as long as possible.
Do you get sick of people trying to tell you, firstly, what you should eat and how you should treat this?
Yeah.
Is it
Yeah,
constant? Like,
because it's constant because I've tried everything. It's not like I haven't tried everything. The only thing I haven't tried is the hip replacement, which I'll end up getting eventually. But right now, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to wait a little while. They offered to do my left hip a couple of years ago, but my left hip isn't the problem. I mean, it is a problem, but my right hip is more of a problem. So,
are you afraid to have surgery?
yeah, definitely afraid.
Okay,
Sorry, my dogs are gonna bark. The
that's all right.
contractors are coming back.
That's all right. Just do what you normally do on Clubhouse and just ignore us and just start yelling at the dogs insanely.
Yeah.
It'd just be like a normal Clubhouse chat. But have doctors like told you that if you have these surgeries that you would live like a better life, a more pain free life? Well, I guess
No.
they can't guarantee this stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, they can't guarantee it, and they all say, uh, the hip replacement. There's no guarantee that it's gonna solve your problem. Like it's just gonna cause another year and a half of pain of healing. So there's no point because it's just you're just gonna be in more pain for more time, and it's not gonna help you in the end.
Yeah.
So they try to give me a good regimen of medication. So I'm on a really good regimen right now that seems to be working well and helping me. And this is the first time in 20 years that I've been on a regimen of pain medications um that have been helpful and keep me kind of mentally sane and kind of mitigate the pain a little bit.
Yeah. We're going to play another song, and then we're going to continue talking. Hello to folks who've joined who I haven't said hello to, like the Falcro and Cam G-May. And,
hey, Falcro. Hey, G-May.
I saw Jorge. Hello. I saw Feisty Feather join the chat.
Hey, Feisty.
Who else? Mateus. Hello, hello, hello. I'm just trying to catch up with some names of seed. Pour in. I think that's all I can see for now. If I've missed you, I'm blind. We're both blind. Me and Brad are both clinically blind.
Yeah, definitely blind. Zach Thong, it's good to see you, Zach. Chris Lane Sr., it's great to see you. SM Borthwick, great to see you. Jorge, good to see you. Farah, thank you for coming, Farah. Means a lot that you came.
Buzz Ineu says hi, Brad.
Who does?
Buzz.
Oh, Buzzno. Hey, Buzzy, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Buzzno is an amazing singer. He's a singer in a band. He was a singer in a band. Really awesome singer. Really great guy. Really great singer.
Welcome, Buzz.
He's a really cool guy. I wish he would come and hang out at this channel more often. He'd learn a lot.
Mike
You
Shana.
should tune in more, Buzz.
Mike Shana, hello to you. Here's another human being who I've tried to get on the show who's just fucking dealing with stuff, man. We're all broken toys here on this channel. All of these amazing musicians across all these great channels on YouTube. One thing we all mostly have in common is we're all busted toys. And I guess that's what makes the community even stronger. I'm going to play another song here, then we're going to come back and do our talk about our sponsor. And I've got lots more questions for Brad to come, so don't fret. We've got another hour to roll, and then we're getting out of here today and sending you over to Pete Johns, who has a special guest today, who is Thomas Christ, who's here in the chat as well.
Cool.
Michael Songs, what's going on as well? All right, so this is
Hey, Michael Songs, good to see you, buddy.
This is another song by the Inner City Surfers. This is called TV. I'm going to play it, and then when we come back, you can tell us about it. You ready? Let's do it.
Ready.
Inner City Surfers, let's rock!
Nothing much has changed since yesterday. You held it in your hand, it sure looked real to me. You said you've seen it all and you still don't believe.
Right, is that the end this time?
That's the end, yeah.
False ending. You scumbag.
Yeah, false ending on that one. We used to call that our backpack song because it always felt like you had your headphones on and you were holding on to your backpack and rocking with your backpack.
Oh, man. Well, I was rocking on. Everyone else was rocking. Great stuff. Look, let's here have a word from our sponsor, which we need to acknowledge. It's a halfway mark of the show.
DistroKid.
DistroKid. Let me bring up our DistroKid ad. I'm going to tell you a couple of things about DistroKid. Maybe you didn't know. Boom! There we go. DistroKid is today's sponsor. They are a fantastic sponsor of this show twice a month for our creator interviews and for one special other interview a month. We have DistroKid on board. You too can release music through DistroKid because, if you release your music, it only costs you $22.99 a year to release your music across all of the fancy pants streaming services like your Apples, like your Spotifys, like your Amazons, like your YouTubes, and so many more. In fact, if you sign up and use my link there, which Thomas has provided, right there, see, there it is, there, you'll get 7% off your first year. And some of the places you can upload your music to is pretty crazy. Upload new music. Let's have a look at some of them because lots of them, look at this, Spotify, TikTok, Deezer, Savan, and Tencent, Yandex, Snapchat, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Tidal, Boomplay, Qbuzz, Adapter, iTunes, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Jukes, Flow, Instagram, Facebook, Pandora, Clara Musica, NetEase, Quack Media, MediaNet. It goes to a whole lot of places you probably haven't even heard of or will hear of unless you're watching this show. So that's really cool. Now, one of the other reasons I moved to DistroKid, I'll tell you a little story and then we'll talk to Brad about, because he uses DistroKid as well, was I was using another provider. I'm not going to tell you who, but I was signed up to another provider from about 2006 to about 2015. And you know what? I was paying $49 a year for one album to stay up every year. And I have a lot of music, just so you know. Look at all my music that I have here. This is all my music. And I was paying $50 a year through this provider to have, I think at the time it was like 6 albums. And I was not making the money back. I was going broke just keeping my music on all of these streaming services. So I was able to ditch that streaming service and move to DistroKid and now pay an incredibly low price of what I pay here is I'm on the ultimate plan. It's because I've got way too many bands because I'm a fool. That's why. So that cost me $89.99 US a year to have up to 5 bands, and I can add extra ones if I want. But another reason why I love DistroKid, see, I was homeless for a long time and I didn't have a computer. Everything was on an iPad. You guys know my story. I was living in a park. And this little service here, let me just show you. If you go up here, click on this and scroll down to protect your music, you'll see this little thing called the Vault. The Vault. And look at this. Every time you upload music to DistroKid, it saves the masters that you've uploaded. So just say you wanted to now release these songs to something like Bandcamp or any other kind of service that's outside of the offers here, you can just come along to these, click on a folder, and there are the original WAV files, the mastered tracks that I uploaded. So, because now, why is this important? Because we're all fighting for space on our computers and our iPads, whatever we make music on. And this is a great place to be able to just go and re-download your tracks, and you know this is the original file that you've uploaded to all the other streaming services. I know it probably seems like to some people, that's not very helpful, but no, very helpful to know you have all of this stuff here. Now, every song I've uploaded, Word of Music album, I can just go grab it here, and that is the exact track that is on all of the streaming services, well divided. There's the EP right there, and it's very easy. You just click on it, and you get all the information. You can see the genre, all of this stuff, what track it is, all the information, and important stuff like this, your ISRC code, which you want to put into other things like Bandcamp so you can get paid. You know what I'm saying? Use these codes that you have. So very, very handy. Brad, why do you use DistroKid, my friend?
It's a friend of mine from the Torn Down Units told me about it years ago and said it was like $22 a year and I could download all the records and they would stay up and go to all the streaming services. And the Surfers had been out of print for about 10 years at that point. So I thought, oh my God, I could put all the Surfers records up and then people can listen to it on Spotify. So I did that and it reinvigorated people listening to the Surfers again. So, and it's just the easiest, fastest. They do the best at putting everything on all the different streaming services. You don't have to worry about it. You just go through and click on whenever they add a new one, you just click on it. And next thing you know, it's on there. So it's the easiest one and it's just easy to use, especially for a tech guy like me who's really bad at doing anything tech. It was easy for me to get going. I was able to do it and get it done without any help.
If Brad can do it, anyone can do it. Trust me, all right? Because I am Brad's personal PA. And trust me, if he can do it, you can do it too. So, of course, thank you to DistroKid for your constant support of this channel.
Thank you, DistroKid. You're sponsoring a great show. You're doing a great thing by sponsoring this show. It's important to sponsor independent artists, and I think what you're doing, especially with Jade Show, is far beyond. You're a step above everybody else by doing it.
Thanks, Brad. I'll flick you a tenner later. Thanks, mate. The code's there. If you want to see up the top there, it gets you 7% off your first year. As always, you know the deal, everybody. I love you, DistroKid. Love you! All right. There we go. That's out the way. Okay, so where are we? Let's talk about, we're going to get into music, trust me. Now, you in the last interview we had you on here, we talked about the Inner City Surfers, all the other bands you've played in, right? So there is a history. If you want to go back, folks, and check out the other interviews, there's some wild stories on there, and we talk more about that. Now, being such a rock and roller for a long period of time, Brad, example, you kind of had a little bit of a reputation of being somebody who, I don't know, enjoyed maybe a little bit of excess. Would I be right in saying that?
Yeah, you would be.
All right.
I like to call myself a scientist. I like to experiment.
How does somebody, right, who, have you, like, all right, before we go into that, have you had to deal with addiction?
Never. Well, not never. There was a time where I was doing a little bit too much blow, and I kind of caught myself maybe 6 months into it where I thought, you know what, I'm doing blow. As soon as I wake up in the morning, I'm doing a line, and I'm doing lines all throughout the day. And I kind of caught myself and kind of realized, like, hey, I'm doing a lot of blow. I shouldn't be doing this much blow. So then I just locked myself in my room for a week and smoked a bunch of hash and then stopped doing all the blow. So I just kind of stopped on my own.
if somebody back in the day, if you're in the band and somebody walks in who you don't know and says, "I've got this drug," what would be your response?
Fire it up. Let's go.
Even if you didn't know them.
Yeah, even if I didn't know them. Even if they didn't tell me what the drug was they were putting on the table, I would still do it.
Okay. So if somebody walked into your house right now who you didn't know, just say, because you've got guys coming over and painting your house at the moment, just say, what's his name? Is it Brian? I can't remember the guy's name. Barry. Barry came in today with his paintbrush and his paint can, and he was like, "Hey, Brad, I've got some wicked LSD. Would you take that from me?"
Right away. Yeah, without a second thought.
Okay, well, that's good. So, way to get up.
I just like the idea of altered states, and especially since my world is sitting in a chair.
Yeah, I know.
So any kind of altered state I can find, I was saying to my mom the other day, because I was having a few drinks during my live stream, I should drink more often. I don't drink enough.
Oh no.
I should drink more. I always feel good when I drink.
Yeah, you feel. What did your mum say to that, Brad?
She said, "No, don't do it. Don't do it."
What would I have said?
Yeah, you'd say, "No, don't do it."
What would Russ have said?
Russ would probably laugh and say, "Yeah, go ahead, Nate, have at it."
Better living through chemistry, says Thomas Christ.
Yeah, better living through chemistry.
Ed says,
That's
sounds
been
like
one
Brad,
of my sayings for years.
Yeah. Brad says, Ed says, sounds like Brad's replaced food in his life for drugs. Is that a fair assessment?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll try any drug, but I won't try any food. It's the weirdest thing. I don't know why that is. I don't know why I was built this way. I can't explain it.
Yeah. So, all right. Now, the reason I'm asking about drugs in this respect is because you take a lot of pain meds.
Yeah.
Do you think you could fall easily into the trap of being addicted to those?
Yes. Now, I discuss this a lot with my doctor. There's a fine line between
pleasure and
addiction and dependency. So I depend on all of the medications I take, whether it's for my mental health, whether it's for my cyclic vomiting, whether it's for my stomach lining, whether it's for my pain, whether it's for my anxiety and depression. I depend on all of those medications. So now, am I addicted to all of them? Now, some of them come with a physical addiction, but you're dependent on them anyways. So no matter what, as long as I keep taking them, and not going to the street to find them, then I'm fine. Like I'm taking them as prescribed. I'm doing it the right way, and everything is fine. I'm not scratching, and I don't have, junkies look when they have all scratches, and I don't look like that. I don't act like that. I don't behave in those manners.
No.
So there is a fine line though. And it is something that you have to be careful with. And as long as you're cognizant of what you're taking and when and how much, you fall on the side of caution, where you're doing it right and you're not turning into a junkie or somebody terrible.
Yeah. Now, I'm not suggesting that you are a junkie or anything like that. I know you're not like, out there scratching your face and begging for money and stuff like that. That's hobo Brad. That's a completely different Brad. We can talk about hobo Brad at the end of the show, maybe. For those of you who don't know, there's a guy out there. He's trying to move into Brad's house. He's an imposter. Don't trust him if he sends you a message. His name's hobo Brad. He's evil. But
my grandma and my mom are trying to get Jade to move into my room. They're honestly trying. Like they really want Jade in there.
Yeah, I know, and and I thank them so much, but it's incredibly weird when they already have a Brad.
Yeah, well, they want a Jade instead.
Right, right. So they want to ship you over to Australia
Yeah,
to take over this show, and they want me to move there.
yeah. You can do the show from here. I'll just go there and I'll just sit in a chair in your living room. And you can sleep in my bed and have all my stuff and
And you can have all my stuff. How's that sound?
yeah,
Yeah.
perfect. Perfect trade.
Hang on, do I win out of this?
I think you might win. You'll get some nice guitars.
All right, all right, yeah, yeah, yeah. They've already planned me moving, and Anyway, look, Brad's apparently coming to Australia at some stage, and I'm going to put him up here. That's going to be.
Yeah. I'm saving up. I want to make a trip to Australia to visit Jade
God.
because Jade lives in such a faraway place that nobody gets to visit her, and I'd like to be the one that goes to visit.
Please help if there is someone up there. Hello, somebody, YouTube gods, help me, please. It would be certainly an adventure. Now, you live in a very, very small town, Brad. So you were a part
Yeah.
of the bustling lights, the city, the entertainment, the rock industry, and now you are like
Yeah.
miles away from nobody.
Yeah.
Is the isolation something that plays into your mind?
There are times it does. Yeah. There are times it does. But when I was living in Sault Ste. Marie, which is kind of a medium-sized town, it's about 100,000 people, but somewhere between 80 and 100,000 people, and it's bustling. Um, I had realized that my life was sitting in a chair looking out a window. And if I'm gonna have to sit in a chair and look out a window, I would rather look at something beautiful than something that's all concrete and terrible. So my aunt who passed away ended up writing me kind of when I was at rock bottom. I was actually considering suicide. And my aunt wrote me right at that very moment and said, pack your stuff and come home now. And I called my mom up the next day and I said, okay, I'm ready to come home.
Oh, you've mentioned that word, unaliving, here on
Yeah.
YouTube. It's a word that
Yeah, I forgot.
No, it's okay because like in context, they'll check the video and it'll be okay because they do check for context. But this is a real thing, yeah. Loneliness.
Yeah.
Apparently, the statistics in the world right now, people are like new statistics are only released a month ago, actually, just after I did an episode on loneliness, that there is a loneliness epidemic apparently happening. But as we discussed on my show, the loneliness can be in different forms. Yeah, you can choose to be lonely, or there is loneliness that you don't necessarily want, and suicide is a thing that can come from it. Now, you come from an industry, a music industry, punk rock world, where this year and last year you've lost some people.
Yeah.
You've lost some friends to this.
Yeah.
Why do you think this is going on, Brad? Why have there been friends of, you don't know, I'm not asking you to know the exact story. Do you think there's something that's driving musicians, that drives musicians to this point?
Yeah, I think that especially in the Sioux, heroin has become a huge epidemic there. And a lot of my friends that ended up getting addicted to heroin and then would end up quitting and starting again and quitting and starting again. And then when they would quit, they would come back and they would hit themselves with the same dose that they were used to doing previous to quitting, and it would end up killing them. The same thing happened to my cousin. Same thing happened to a friend of mine just a couple weeks ago. And it's happening more and more frequently. It's happening a lot actually. And I think it has to do with loneliness. I think it has to do with isolation. I think it has to do, especially as songwriters, because we spend so much time alone trying to put our thoughts into words and put our feelings into words, that we spend a lot of time alone. And in that time alone, you'll get a couple lines down that are very personal and meaningful. And then you start thinking about, well, I'm not getting better. I'm not going to get better. It's only going to get worse. Why would I do this again tomorrow? Why do it again? Why do it again tomorrow? And then you have to try to kind of convince yourself that maybe tomorrow will be a little bit better, and that you'll feel better about yourself, and tomorrow's a new day, and maybe Jade will make me laugh, or maybe Dave will make me laugh, or somebody will do something cute or funny, and maybe I'll come up with a song that I really like. So it gives me a little bit of hope, which is a dangerous word, but it gives me a little bit of hope, which I think is a bad word.
That's funny. You think it's not funny. You think it's a bad word. It's a word I if without it, I can't go on. Without hope, there's nothing. Like even if the hope doesn't come, yeah. Like
That's the problem.
You've got to, but that's it. This is if you dwell on it, right, and dwell on it not coming, then you will into existence this hopelessness, this where hope comes in the smallest things sometimes, even just waking up. I mean, I guess it's how you look at it. I mean, I have hope that I'm going to wake up tomorrow. Start small, simple. Like I'm awake. At least I'm here. So that gives me many more options to at least achieve something in a day. And if I don't achieve something today, maybe tomorrow. And that's okay. Look, talking about, unaliving and stuff like that, if you are feeling like you need somebody to reach out to, remember there are places out there. This is a broad community here across YouTube, and there are people who will listen and all that jazz.
And I always say this, if you want to write somebody, write me, because I have a lot of experience with it. So if you want to talk to somebody who knows a lot about it and has gone as far as making plans, write me first.
Yeah. Or he'll write you, and you don't want that.
Let me know. Let me know what's going on, and I'll help you.
Or what you can do is just give up everything, forget your troubles, and have a few drinks. Shit, yeah. Tell us about that song, Brad.
That song I wrote after I had lost a job and I was really, really depressed and drinking a lot back then. And I poured a drink. It was the middle of the afternoon. It was probably 11:30, maybe noon. And I poured myself a strong whiskey and I just started thinking about, I lost my grip. I let it slip. And, sometimes I mean, that's the whole point of it is the end of the song, right? I'll never be too much man to cry. So no matter how much of a man I am, I'm never too much man to cry. I'll cry if I have to.
Absolutely. What I'm a big fan of your music. And I know there's a lot of people who are big fans of your music as well. What do you think it is that draws people to your music? What, after all these years of playing, just give us one thing that you think draws people to your music.
I think the uniqueness of it, like the timelessness, where it doesn't sound like it was made in a particular time and place, where all of my music kind of sounds like it could have come out in the 70s or it could have come out in the 2030s or it could have come out anytime. It's its own little entity. And I think that especially as I got older and my voice got rougher, people were attracted to the uniqueness of my voice and the way that I tell a story and the way that I kind of say my words, it people relate to it and it touches them in a way that other songs don't, or they understand that I put a lot of effort and a lot of time and meaning into the lyrics that I write. Like I take a lot of care, and the lyrics I write mean a lot to me.
I want to know what people in the chat. Why do you like Brad's music? I'm going to read out some of them, and if you let me know, write it in the chat. I want to know. I want to know what his secret sauce is. There's a few people have already written. Chris Lane says, I had it there. I would say the honesty and transparency. Any song of his, you get Brad. Ali says,
Yeah,
Brad's soul comes put, that is time. Fucking Ali.
Comes out. I know her hands are all screwed
I
up.
know. Now, if you have trouble reading this, he's another human being who's with us, and you're probably thinking, God, that chick can't spell for shit. Her hands are so fucking sore, and it's such a struggle for her to write. So, GK Mac Music says Brad's writing is honest. That's why I like it. Great voice also.
Thanks,
what have we got
GK
here?
Mac.
He wants to bang everyone. They just lick it up. Okay. Sex, drugs, rock and roll is the greatest sex. Brad reads a lot, and that helps him being the lovely songwriter that he is. So stay in school, kids. A timeless soul. Relatable, says Independent Manny. Honest writing, says Buzz. He's authentic as fuck,
Thanks,
says
Buzzy.
Thomas Christ. Honesty, says the Falcro.
Thanks, Thomas. Thanks, Falcro.
Brad mirrors others' pain. It's because he's genuine. You can feel that it comes from a very real, special place. I love Brad's unique vocal cadence. I find myself saying, I wish I could find those vocal nooks and crannies that Brad finds. We know you're not drunk, Ali. Jeez. I like it because it's relatable to my own experiences, says Blue Unicorn. Russ says,
Thanks, Blue. You're a genius yourself, buddy.
Russ says, I have to like it. I make the videos.
Thanks, Rusty.
There's truly only one Brad, an amazing lyricist. Honest poetry with great melodies. He goes into the heart of the human condition, the suffering and loneliness, but the hope and light. Wow, Jesus. I hope you're paying attention to this, Brad. The next time.
This is really nice.
I hope you're seeing this the next time you are sitting there on Clubhouse shitting all over yourself.
I know I have a real struggle with that. I get down on myself for not
all the time
producing I'd like to produce more, and I'm so weak and drained and worn out that I'm not getting there. But I did write a new theme song for your outro, and I
Yes.
think it's pretty good, and I'm gonna get it recorded this week once the contractors are done. I'm gonna record it, and I think that'll be a good first step. That's why I started doing these live streams, because I wanted to get back into practice of singing and playing and learning and learning new songs and trying things that I wouldn't try if I was just sitting by my like because when I sit down it's just me and my guitar. I play something new. I play something I've never played before. So when I do these live streams, I do other people's songs that I haven't ever played before. So I try to learn as I go. And I think that it's helping to inspire me to get back into writing as prolifically as I used to. I used to write very prolifically. I used to write at least a song a day. And now I'm kind of writing a song once a week, but I'm not putting it down. I'm just writing them and kind of making up the melodies as I go along, but I'm not actually putting them in cement. And I gotta start putting them in cement. And I
Uh,
think this is a good way for me to start that process of getting the train kind of slowly moving before I start getting moving.
Do you see that?
It's really an intervention. Yeah, it is. Isn't it audible?
Maybe. My show, I'll do what the fuck I want because I love you so much, Brad. Um, I'm gonna go back through these, copy all these comments, like Jenny said, and I'm gonna send them all to you, and you can read them every day. You can get up and read them every fucking day. Um,
Thanks. It's very nice of you to say all those things. It's means a lot to me. It yeah, it means a lot to me.
Now, recently,
And
yeah, go.
well, and it helps give me the confidence I need to kind of get back into doing things again.
Recently, you reunited with the Inner City Surfers for a Wine Only gig. Tell us about that. How hard was it? Why did you get back
Oh,
together?
it was hard. We got back together for Mikey's Stag and Doe, and he played with all of his bands. He's got a lot of bands. He plays in a AC/DC cover band, a Ramones cover band, um, the Fairmounts, his original band, and with us the surfers. So we played last, and the hardest part was I had now I know for the next time I'm gonna put a table next to me so that I don't have to bend down to pick up my drinks because you can see on the bottom where my drink is. So I have to bend down and pick up my drink between songs, and that's what hurt the most. So I'm gonna next time I do it, I'm gonna put a table there.
And how did you get through it? Were you in pain afterwards? Because, I mean, you rocked it. I couldn't believe it. We're watching you here. And I'm like, look at this little bloody cripple up there jumping around almost like.
I had a chair I was leaning against. It's behind me, so my ass is leaning against a chair. And then after the show, I had a big plan with a girl, and I had all these big plans. And I ended up going straight back to my hotel room, and I just laid on the bed and passed out. And I left the very next morning.
Oh, it's probably a good thing. Yeah, God knows what you would have caught from that girl, knowing you.
Yeah, she's good. She's a sweetheart.
I'm joking, of course.
No, I know.
So, was it good to be back on stage? Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. I miss it. And every time I do it, I miss it even more.
And you had a massive crowd, man. Massive crowd there.
Yeah, the crowd was huge, and they sang along
I
like
know.
our songs, like our original songs, are more popular than the cover songs that we play. So when we play our own songs, the crowd sings along, and they sing louder than they do when we do songs like Folsom Prison or El Scorcho by Weezer or whatever the covers we choose. Jet Plane, Leaving on a Jet Plane. People sing louder to our songs than they do the cover songs.
It was so cool sitting back here seeing it because we know the build up and how nervous you were and all that stuff. And, then you had a wedding to go to and all that kind of stuff. But to actually see it happen was just rad. And,
I wish I had a better place to put the camera, but that was the only spot I had.
yeah, look, you make do with what you've got. And you had your sexy overalls on.
Yeah.
And so that's cool.
No shirt.
No shirt, yep. So we got to see nips and everything like that. Well, we couldn't from this angle, but it was wicked.
Yeah, I couldn't play naked because I was streaming it on YouTube.
Yeah. Because that is one of your things that you do, yeah?
Yeah.
And trust me, I know because I have many photos of you naked, strangely enough.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been doing that since I was like 16, 15, 16. I started doing it.
Yep. So everybody in Canada has seen every bit of you.
Because everybody knows what it's like to be on tour where you wear the same clothes all the time. So if you play a set and you sweat in your clothes, the next day your clothes all stink and they're all crusty and stinky. But if you just get on stage and take all your clothes off and fold them and put them on your amp, when you're done your set, you can put your clothes back on and they're still clean.
Yeah.
Because it's hard to find laundromats when you're touring all the time.
So let's talk about this before we get into deep trouble. Brad, you've just started live streaming. So, it's been a long time in the making. And you've done 3 streams so far. And, nearly every stream, 50 people rolling up, which again shows how much people love you. And, this was such a thing that you were featured in the newspaper.
Yeah.
There it is here. So this happened, was this last week?
Yeah, Wednesday of last week.
Musician refuses to allow his physical struggles to silence him. How cool was this?
Yeah, very cool. I was very, very, very humbled and happy to see it. It was nice because I don't get out much, so it was nice to let Atakokan see that I'm here.
So, even you were so kind enough to even mention here, he became friends with 2 leaders in the home recording world. Pete Johns, Studio Live Today, has garnered hundreds and thousands of views and subscribers. And Jade Starr, she's created 1,000 videos for a show, How to App on iOS. So thank you, Brad, for mentioning this. But it just is awesome. So, good to see you getting some publicity because you deserve it. What can we expect if somebody comes along to watch one of your live performances every 2 weeks?
It's songs, an opportunity for me to play songs that I really love, that I've always wanted to learn and sing and play, that I never get a chance to. Because whenever I pick up my guitar, like I said, I always write something new. So it's a chance for me to practice kind of other people's songs and play songs that I've always loved. And like last week, I did a song called All of My Days by Alexi Murdoch, which is a song I've always really, really loved. And I've always wanted to play it. And it means a lot to me, and I got to play it. So I get to try new things and practice and play live. And I'm starting to get used to how to interact with people on YouTube. It's a different animal. It's not like playing live in a club, When you're live in a club and I say, everybody hold your drinks up, everybody holds their drinks up. Or, if I say sing along, they all sing along. But when you're playing live on YouTube, it's a whole different, it's a different way of performing. So I'm starting to get used to it. And as I do more, I'll get better at it. And hopefully more people will come.
It certainly is a very bizarre thing. I've been, performing live here on this channel every weekend for about over 2 years. And it's strange. And I know there's many people here now in the chat, or musicians, great musicians who have their own live streams where they're performing, and that lack of tactile feedback. You see the claps, but you don't hear them.
Yeah.
It's very weird because you're sitting in your room singing to yourself, but there's people watching. It's a strange thing to get your head around. But once you get into the rhythm of it, you're going to you'll get better and better and better and
Yeah,
better.
well,
at
that's
doing
what
it.
I'm learning from. I'm learning from you, and I'm learning from Pete and Thomas and Leela, and learning how. And I get your texts to help me get the sound straightened out at the beginning of the show. So hopefully from now on, I'll have the sound straightened out, and I can start the show off on the right foot instead of doing two songs through the computer mic and then get my mic working. Hopefully, I can start getting the sound right off the bat, and I can entertain and perform. And that's the whole thing, is I just want to entertain people for an hour and just play songs that other people don't play, and that most people don't know, so I can turn people on to new songs. I can play songs that people haven't heard in a long time or don't know, and turn them on to new stuff.
Now, folks, Pookie says, you're doing great with the live streams. You are, all right? But, folks, if you come along to one of Brad's live streams and the sound's a little bit skewy, trust me, I'm in the background, all right? I'm in the background trying to get it sorted, and this is what it looks like while I'm in the background. Right? That's what it looks like. So please go easy, all right? Because I'm trying. I'm doing my best.
Jade's really trying. She sends me texts on my phone. I get texts like, fix this, try this,
and you half read them. You half read them.
Yeah. Well, I'm trying to do both, and I'm getting half the text and half the show.
Yeah, so. I know. You because you panic. That's why. And you're like, what the sounds? And I'm like, wait, you didn't finish reading the message. Yeah, I'm in Australia. Brad's in Canada, and I'm desperately trying to get it sorted, which isn't every day. Now.
Yeah, and it always works out in the end. You always get my sound right in the end, and we get there.
Yeah, before long, you won't need me, and I'll be thrown to the curb, and I'll be just rubbish to you. And
I'll always need you.
I look forward to that. No, I actually look forward to having a break. Listen, don't say that. I'll always need you. No, Brad. I love you, mate. All right, let's play another song.
Love you.
Let's play another song quickly. A 2-minute one. Let's play this one. We'll do Can't Wait. I haven't played that, have I? No. All right, let's do it. This is Can't Wait by the Inner City Servers. Boom.
Stop what is to be, and I find myself sitting patiently, getting high to pass my time away. And whose hand should I be holding, and who's strong enough to let it all slide? Me, I've seen better days than these. I can't wait for them all to change, and I don't know why. No one has an answer for me, and I can still try. If someone to tell me why, pack a suitcase, get on the train, take a plane and fly far away. Well, I'm so naive to think that one day I can see it all go my way, and I don't know why. No one has an answer for me, and I can still try. If someone would tell me why. wanna tell me why.
And inner city surfers are great. If you don't know, all the links down are in the description if you want to check out all Brad's solo stuff, inner city surfers stuff. It's all there. Go get it. Go get all the music. It's all up online. All the stuff's there. So make sure you go and grab all of that because it'll make your day perfect. When can we expect brand new Brad example music?
I'd probably say in the next 2 months, I think I should be ready to go.
Because you've
I'm working on
you've got new
I'm
gear
working on
recently.
some songs right now, yeah. And I'm working on some songs right now, and I think that because of these live streams, it's put me in a spot where I can kind of figure out where to sing and where my melodies fit and where I'm going with them, and it's given me that juice again.
Yep. You've got merch available now.
Yeah, some cool merch. These shirts are beautiful. I can't believe how amazing the material is on these shirts. I know they're expensive because it's American money. They don't have a Canadian pop-up shop yet. They will though soon. And they're so comfortable. I've never felt material like this in my life. Like this is actual premier material.
Almost as good as those wild body stockings.
Yeah, almost as wild. And I designed those black ones for Leela and for Allie and for another friend of mine, Mandy. She wanted a tank. So I designed a couple tanks for the girls. And Russ designed the heart with the skull in it.
And we've got these crazy ones here that you're wearing there, the Brad example one with the
Yeah,
writing around there. So you wanted to do, why did you want to do
the
something
heart.
so different like that?
Because I wanted the name to be seen when you're sitting on YouTube. I wanted the name to be seen because if it's a square in the middle, it cuts off and you can't see it.
Yeah. Yeah, but really hard to organize. That's why they're expensive because it's a very unique print. So there you go. Chris Lane says no sleeveless shirts for guys. No sleeveless shirts for Chris Lane Senior.
Yeah, I can make a sleeveless one for you, Chris. If you want one,
There you
I can
go.
make you one. You just got to write me.
He'll do it. He'll do it. Just write
Yeah,
him
I'll
his
make you one.
email address, bradexample@hotmail.com, and you can reach out to Brad or wherever you do that. You, remember too, you can also get on my channel the Brad example cowboy laying on naked in cowboy boots shirts.
Yeah, my
and
gumboots, my gnats.
stickers. You can even get the Brad example kissable pillow if you want. So you can take it to bed with you. And if you get lonely at night, you can just turn it over and give it a big kiss. There you go. So this is links are in my description. If you want the Brad example kissable, I love how it says indoor pillow, where it's not. It's the kissable pillow of Brad example. All right, so we're gonna have music coming soon from Brad. That's going to be rad. Super excited. It's going to be. So you'll notice the We All Rise Together song that I normally close the show with is gone because we're waiting for a new version from Brad to update all of that stuff.
And I'm pretty happy with it. I think I've done a decent job with it. I think it's not bad. So once I record it, I'm gonna, and hopefully I'll do that this week. I'll send it to Dave to mix. And then send it to you to play at the end of the show.
Wicked. So that's cool. All right. We only have minutes to go because Pete Johns is up next, and I'll dump you automatically over to Pete Johns, and he's got a special guest, Thomas Christ, today. They're talking about Bandcamp and how to get your music on Bandcamp. So I'll auto dump you over there. I think the dump is set. Just let me make sure quickly. I want to thank you, Brad, for coming on the show today and being so candid. Yeah.
Thank you for having me, Jade.
I did
My
say
next live stream is on the 17th. So the next one will be on Saturday, the 17th. I'd like to thank you, Jade, for having me back on. I love doing your show. I love spending time with you. And I'll do it anytime. Whenever you need somebody, I'm always there.
Absolutely. Thanks, Brad. And if you haven't seen it, Brad actually interviewed me on this channel. So he did a fantastic job. He came on and interviewed me. He did a really good job. So if you want to check that out as well, there's lots of other Brad example stuff here on my channel. He's done a live stream on my channel. I think I've done 2 interviews with you. We had you on with Russ and Dave and the whole gang, Wolfstone Studio, when you hung out with all of them. Brad,
yeah, with Ron and Jenny, which was a wonderful, wonderful night. Lori, it was wonderful meeting Lori. Ron and Jenny were amazing. We went for coffee with them at a restaurant. It was so wonderful. Jenny and Ron are the sweetest people. I can't believe how sweet they are.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here today and supporting the channel and hanging out with us. And Pookie for the gifted memberships and all of that.
Thanks.
You guys rock. Thank you for all the support that you give me here on this channel. Remember, let's just cover a quick couple of things. Tomorrow, yes, it's happening tomorrow. It's not up yet, but it will be available. Season 3 of Walk With Me. It's almost fully edited. You wait till you see where I went yesterday, 2 days ago. I'm still recovering from it. I can barely walk, but it's wild, yeah? So hopefully you come and join me. It's on Friday, US, UK time. Saturday morning Australian time. There will be another opening hour pre-recorded. I'll be doing covers this week if you want to come and join us for that. Brad, the last question I'm going to ask you, if you were on a desert island and all you had was, and you didn't have a volleyball named Wilson, what album would you want to get you through the hard times?
Oh, it's a toss-up between Bob Dylan's first album and Roy Harper's Broken Berserk.
Boom. There you go. I'm going to go out today with a song by Brad Example called The Queen's Secrets. Now, this is on his album, the Brad Example. What is that album called? Is it just Brad Example?
I just called it The Gutter to Glory.
The Gutter to Glory. It's available on here. Now, tell us a little bit, very quickly, because we don't have much time, what happened with this video clip, Brad?
Well, Russ made a video clip for me, and then I posted it, and it was wrong. And then I took it down, and then Russ fixed it, and the audio was messed up, so I had to take it down again. And then he sent it to me again and said, "Make sure you check it this time." And I didn't check it, and I just put it up, and it was wrong again, so I had to take it down again. And then Russ redid it, and this time he added a little secret message in the end of it. And that was the last time I put it up. So I probably took it down and put it back up about 4 times.
So if you look right at the end of the video clip, you may see hidden in the shadows the words, "Brad is a C word." All right, Brad is a cunt. It's hidden there. Now you all know the secret. The secret's out. Thank you, Brad, so much for coming on. I love you so much, my friend.
Thank you. I love you, Jade. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everybody here in the chat, for joining us. You all rock. You're all so awesome. Thank you to DistroKid for sponsoring the show. As usual, do the things that make you happy. Mistakes make you better, and we'll all rise together. I'll see you tomorrow for the Walk With Me and all the other stuff that's coming up on the channel. Pete John's up next. This is The Queen's Secrets by Brad Example. See you later, everybody.